took a turn. The Bucks led by 1 late in the game, but Booker was stripped by Jrue Holiday, who found Giannis for the alley-oop dunk to seal the win. Phoenix is now down 3-2 with Game 6 tomorrow in Milwaukee. Got to bring in NBA analyst Slick Ric Bucher. Basel, how confident are you in the Suns forcing a Game 7?
Oh, I am trying to tell the truth here because I have a rooting interest to see this go 7. But how confident? Not very confident, because I didn't see Phoenix take care of business last game when they had the dominoes stacked in their favor. Now it's going to be a reach to get the next one to fall. The only confidence really comes from the fact that this year the Suns haven't lost 4 games in a row this entire season. Now, they have lost 3 straight, so we're at that place right now. But can they get back their form? Can they get back to their flow? Not certain, because when you go back to Milwaukee, it's going to be magical, Milwaukee, in terms of energy. Like Acho, you know how it goes. I love when I hear the Seahawks claim the term 12th man, and I guess in basketball you got to say the 6th man. And I've always struggled with like fan participation and energy and how it contributes to sport. But in this situation, I got to say, it's about to be epic out there in terms of Milwaukee finally getting their opportunity. Hasn't had it since Kareem Abdul-Jabbar in those days. So I'm going to rank this right now. Let's talk about the form where they're going back to Milwaukee. I'm going to say you're number 3. Number 2, 12th man in Seattle. Number 1 is going to be Arrowhead Stadium, because that one still is the loudest stadium I've ever participated in. It's going to be a problem for you, Phoenix. You could have taken care of business last game. You gave away a game before that in Game 4. Now you're in this situation where now you have to fight the starting 5 plus whatever's coming out of the crowd in terms of energy and participation. I'm not that confident. Can't lie.
I co-sign everything you said. I'm not confident at all. The Bucks are going to close this out at home.
I'm not saying that. Bucks
are 9-1 at home in the playoffs. Devin Booker, you've given us 2 40-point games, and the Suns have nothing to show for those 40-point games. Now, I may have been confident if Chris Paul would have left his 30-point game in the chamber. Remember, I told y'all, Chris Paul's good for 1 30-point game a series in the playoffs. He did it in the Clippers game. They won. Clippers series. He did it in the Nuggets series, closeout. They won. He did it in this series. The problem was he did it Game 1. He shot his bullet too soon. He should have held on to that 30-point bullet. Obviously, figuratively speaking, it's not like he's calculating that in the moment. However, given that Chris Paul has already thrown his best punch, he's used his best shot, Devin Booker, I'm sure he can give you another 40-point game. But at what cost? Is it going to be at the cost of Ayton getting 20 and 10? Is it going to be at the cost of Chris Paul getting 20 plus? At what cost? The other thing is Jrue Holiday's best games might be ahead of him. Chris Middleton, his best games might be ahead of him. At this point, we know Giannis is good for 35 and 14 on any night. Roll out of bed, give you 30 and 10. So I don't see how the Suns can do it. Game 1, Game 2, the Suns were the better team, and Milwaukee was like, maybe we can do this. After Game 4, Milwaukee was like, okay, we're just as good as them. We can do this. But now that the Bucks are up 3-2, the Bucks are like, wait, we're better than them. We have done this. That mental shift is what's going to cause the Suns to get eliminated next game.
Why are you guys half-stepping? Say it with your chest. Isn't that what I always hear?
I know.
Say it with your chest. I have no confidence.
Fair.
None.
Fair.
0. Zilch. Squadoosh. You name it,
Squadoosh.
I don't have it. Because, number 1, the Suns have seen every possible challenge. The Bucks have seen every possible challenge that the Suns can give them. The Suns got up early on them, 16. Twice in the first quarter. They lost. Leading by 9 in the fourth quarter. They lost. They got 40-point games from Devin Booker. 2 of them. They lost. They shot 68% from 3, 55% overall, and lost. They held the Bucks to 40% shooting, 24% from 3, and lost. They reduced the offensive rebounding advantage down to 3, by far the best in the entire series, and lost. There is nothing that the Suns can do that is going to get the Bucks to flinch or to think for a second that they can't win Game 6. And so that, along with Marcellus's point that it's at home, where they've only lost one time the entire playoffs, I need someone to give me one reason to believe that the Suns have half a chance, any chance, not even half a chance, a 1% chance of winning Game 6. I just don't see it at this point.
Ooh, see now you want to take me into me being the analyst up here. The first one was just me talking as the human being. That's why I didn't say it.
That's where I'm taking you into the deep water, Marcellus.
You are. I got to get my hair wet. Okay, here's the problem, though. When you take me to the deep waters, I could go deeper with this analysis, and then all of a sudden, I'm going to give you some calls for pause. Let's just use a few of these statistical nuggets to talk into my point. Why you always got to respect your opponent. You can never say 0%, Slick Rick. You're better than that. Let's talk about growing confidence.
I can.
Well,
they can't.
They can't. Good point. Good point. Let's do our show. Let's do it. I give you that. Suns made 13 threes in Game 5. Just made 16 threes in the 2 games prior to that. So that shows improvement, but that's not my stronger point. Let's talk about how the Suns lost their first game this postseason when they shot 50% or better from 3. Okay. So you're starting to see the growing confidence in how the numbers are being a little skewed, not the law of averages. Now let's get to some stronger points. The Suns closed out all of their previous opponents in the playoffs where? On the road. Interesting. So they can show up on the road when you talk about them playing on the road. Second best road record in the postseason. Okay. Best road defense, the best road defense of all playoff teams. And let's talk about how the opponent's field goal percentage and three-point percentage is second best. We're starting to grow in some confidence. That 0% has to be affected right now. But let's just give you a contrast. Milwaukee and their numbers at home, not so good. Best home record, that's great, but just 8th in points per game at home. You're going against the best defense, and now your points per game. We got something here. And the Bucks, one of 3 teams who shot under 30% from the three-point line this postseason at home. I give you all those nuggets to tell you it's not a 0% chance. We're just waning in confidence right now because, as Acho loves to say, the Suns been playing with their food. Y'all gave away a game that you were supposed to win, Chris Paul and the turnovers late, and then you go home, you shoot a percentage that you have never lost in the postseason shooting, and you lose that game. They don't have momentum, but they still have a fighting chance in this series.
It's not a good one, no sell. And for me, I just look at this sliver. The Bucks can win a multitude of ways. If Drew Holiday gives you 20 or more points, they're 7-1.
Yeah.
Chris Middleton shoots 42%, they're 13-1. If Holiday plays well, or Middleton plays well, or Giannis goes crazy, they're good. On the flip side, Devin Booker can give you 40+, and you 0-2. So the Suns, if your best does his best, y'all still don't win. The Bucks, your second best or your third best, can do their best or they're just good, and y'all are good. So when I look at it, the Bucks just have more ways to win than the Suns have ways to win, and the Bucks are going to be at home doing it.
Well said, Acho. Here's the other part. And Marcellus, I'll flip it around.
Yeah.
I'll take the Phoenix end of things.
Okay.
When they won the 2 games in this series, how did they win those 2 games? By being incredibly dominant in free throw shooting, having a huge free throw disparity. Is that going to happen on the road? That never happens on the road. Is that going to happen again? Has it happened?